Here is my testimony. I want to share a moment that Blue, my sis, was able to bless my family. My mother, one morning last February 2022. I was awakened by the sound on my mother in breathing distress. I heard her panting and saying, "My God, oh God, oh God." I jumped up and ran to her as she sat in our bathroom splashing water on her face and holding her chest. I called 911 and had her to come out into the front room and sit in a chair. She asked me to rub her in her back. While on the phone with the 911 operator, my mother looked up at me and slumped into my chest. She was unresponsive to me calling her name and shaking her. I told the operator she wasn't responsive nor breathing. The operator then asked if I knew CPR. I told her yes. She told me to stay on the phone, lay her out to begin chest compressions. I did so crying, praying and begging my mom to come to fight. I continued compression, as told while trying to calm my 3 children, which had awakened to the nightmare of their lifeless grandmother. The paramedics arrived and began applying the AED machine, shocking her heart to initially no response nor pulse. They finally were able to get a pulsa left out to head to the hospital, to lose her again in the ambulance, and other time after making it into the emergency room, they were able to get her stable and on a respirator. For days she laid unresponsive. I did all I knew to do, praying. I messaged my sis Sacred Blue Rose and told her what was going on. She asked me my mother's name and sent a voice recording of her praying for and saying my mother's name, asking for healing of her from the top of her head to the soles of her feet. I played Blue's recording in my mother's ears while sitting bedside in disparity. By the next day, my mother's toes began to wiggle. She started lifting her arm up and down, her eyes open. Few days later she came off of the respirator. Praise God, my mother recovered enough to be moved to a nursing rehab where she has been since. It's been hard and things are still up and down because of pre-existing health issues and some brain injury due to loss of oxygen, but not to the extent she could have obtained. Fact being, she's still with us and has recovered tremendously for what she's been through. I sincerely want to thank my sis Blue for dropping everything at that moment and going into prayer warfare for him. Why, Mother? Blue is real. She's anointed. She's sacred indeed to me, my family. Blue has touched so many lives as I have witnessed so many times before. I can't thank her enough. I praise God. I pray that our Father of unconditional love continue to bless Blue and her family as she has blessed mine. Love and light. Ace, we love you, Blue.
I see you. I see you moving your toes. You gonna move them again? I see that. Now you looking at me.